a loved one, someone in your family is returning from a trip, and you go to the airport to pick them up, and you drive in like you do at the Cleveland airport, and there's that veer in the road, the fork. It says, departures or arrivals, which one do you go to? Well, okay, so if you're cheating the system, you go to departures, but if they have no baggage, no, they all have baggage, but if they have no luggage, where do you go? They're coming back from a trip, departures or arrivals? Arrivals. Cantor Kathy's going to read the first 6 verses of chapter 28 this evening. Verse 6 is a famous verse. Baruch atah bevoacha, may you be blessed in your arrival. Baruch atah b'tzeitecha, may you be blessed in your departure. It's backwards. We bless people when they go out into the world because we fear the world is dangerous. So we have a blessing that we've done many times from our bima. Not when you come back. We bless you when you leave. And in that blessing, many of you know it, we say, may your journey be safe. May you be safe when you're in your destination, and may you return safely. But the Torah portion says it the opposite way. May you be blessed when you arrive, and then may you be blessed when you depart. Why would we offer such a blessing if you're coming home? Home should be safe. We shouldn't have to worry when you come back to us. We should worry when you depart us. At this time of year, of course, we come to our synagogues for our holidays, to our home, we could say, but this is the type of blessing we need. We arrive at the synagogue, as we will in the coming days, for the high holy days, and we should arrive, tradition tells us, with a little bit of worry. Because this is not a simple, perhaps even safe journey. We're supposed to be shaking a little bit. We need a blessing for arriving at the synagogue, and we need to ask for a blessing in departure. So I like to share at this time of year some of the words that we don't get to share due to our, believe it or not, limited time at the holidays, that speak to this essence of why we would bless ourselves in coming into our synagogue, a place that should always be safe for us, and ask for a blessing as we depart. The first, by Rabbi Alan Lew. He describes the journey. On this journey that we will enter, our soul will awaken to itself. We will venture from innocence to sin and back to innocence again. It's a journey from denial to awareness, from self-deception to judgment, and we will learn our divine name. We will move from self-hatred to self-forgiveness, and from anger to healing. Every soul needs to express itself. Every heart needs to crack itself open. Every one of us needs to move from anger to healing and denial to consciousness, from boredom to renewal. These needs did not arrive yesterday. They're among the most ancient of human yearnings, and they are fully expressed in the pageantry and ritual of the High Holy Days, in the great journey we make between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. May we be blessed as we go into that journey, and may we be blessed as we leave it. A second reading. A reading that's been easily on my mind. I don't know if it struck you. I have a feeling it's going to strike people at the holidays. The news, I think it was yesterday afternoon, said that the line to see the Queen in waiting was 5 miles long, 30 hours. If you've watched any of the pageantry, and I would encourage you to do so whether you're one who likes the monarchy or not, I want to say we have the benefit that this is happening in the days leading up to the holidays when we will say prayers like Avinu Malkeinu. Because they were written at a time where people knew about lines that were 5 miles long to go see the monarch, And then they came to their synagogue and they said, we want it to feel like that. We want it to feel like we are in line for the most important of events. And so there's a reading in our prayer book that hints at this but modernizes it also. When men were children, they thought of God as Father. When men were slaves, they thought of God as Master. When men were subjects, they thought of God as a king. But I am a woman, not a slave, not a subject, not a child who longs for God as father or mother. I might imagine God as teacher or friend. But those images, like king, master, father, or mother, are too small for me now. God is the force of motion and light in the universe. God is the strength of life on our planet. God is the power moving us to do good. God is the source of love springing up in us. God is far beyond what we can comprehend. And so we ask for a blessing on entering our space because we're entering a space that is grand, not only in how it looks, but also in what it stands for. A third reading. It's a different version of Avinu Malkeinu, a very personal one. In our services, we often, we don't read this aloud, in part because it's so personal, but also we often will give a moment for people to read it to themselves. I'll read a section of it. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. Some of us have cancer. Some have lost strength of body. Some have lost memory and speech. Some of us are in pain. Some can't find work. Some of us bear the marks of human cruelty inside where the scars don't show. Avinu Malkeinu, why? Avinu Malkeinu, are you there? Do you care? Do you hear our pain and our grief? We ask that you give us the strength to go on. Give us reasons to get up each day. Give us purpose and persistence. Help us fend off fear and hold on to hope. Help us to be kind. Don't make us bow or grovel for your favor. Give us dignity and give us courage. So we ask for blessings as we enter the space of the High Holy Days, because if we take them as seriously as we should, we will have to say some of the hardest things we need to say to ourselves. And finally, from Rabbi Irv Greenberg, he writes, Yom Kippur teaches that human beings inevitably fail or sin. But when people turn, they come out stronger. In a relationship between two people, love based on the assumption of perfection on both sides is vulnerable to the almost inevitable crack in the mirror. Once flaws are acknowledged and accepted, love becomes genuinely unconditional. Which is why our tradition claims that Moses broke the tablets of the Ten Commandments on the 10th of Tishrei, on Yom Kippur. The original tablets were fashioned by God, untouched by human flaws, but when the people sinned and created the golden calf, God despaired and wanted to get rid of them. Moses was so distressed that he smashed the tablets. It was almost as if the tablets were too pure to be left in human hands. Then came 40 days of working through the heartbreak. Reconciliation and catharsis were followed by 40 days of Moses' labor, making new tablets. And it was this set of tablets, the product of hard-won repentance, based on realism, forgiveness, acceptance of others' limitations, that would guide the Israelites for centuries to come. Such tablets express the spirit of Yom Kippur. When out of our brokenness, we become stronger than when we claimed to be whole. And so, we do things backwards this time of year. We bless the arrival because we know that if the journey is the journey that we ask for, it's going to be a difficult journey. It's going to be a journey that has some pain, some humility, maybe even some suffering, perhaps immense loss as we remember the people we've lost this year, years past. But if we receive that blessing in the midst of our sanctuary, in our spiritual home, If we receive that blessing while we're there, then we'll know that we're blessed as we leave. As we enter into a new year, we will find that we leave stronger than when we came. Is that not the sign of the greatest travels and greatest journeys that we take? May we find blessing as we enter our holy days. May we find blessings as we arrive, and may we know that we are blessed.